Hey, it's Secret Monkey Weekend, and we have taken quite a long hiatus from the podcast.
Yeah.
But the main reason has been that we put out an album in June of last year, and we focused on that like a laser, and we had a lot of success, especially with radio and playing shows. So I think we're going to try to regroup and have podcasts, maybe not quite so long as the ones in the past, although we sure enjoyed talking to the Cowsills and Dennis Dykin for like 40 minutes each, but we might try to keep those a little more manageable.
Yeah.
What do y'all think?
I'd be into that. We can talk about some funky things.
Yeah, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I think one thing I always have to remind the gang here is that this is, in addition to being a video podcast, it's also an audio podcast. So whoever's the furthest from the mic may need to speak the loudest. Am I looking at the right person?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, you want to kind of sum up last year a little bit? Who wants to start? What do you thought was the best thing and some of the best memories of last
I think our tour was the most exciting part of last year. We went on our East Coast extravaganza tour, so we played with Professor Fuzz 63 from Austin, Texas, and we played in, I think our first show was Chapel Hill?
Yeah.
Chapel Hill.
And Charlottesville.
Charlottesville. We played Charlottesville. Then we played Swarthmore, Pennsylvania at Warehouse 3. Then we played 3 New Jersey shows. WFMU.
In Jersey City, Hoboken, and Montclair.
And New York City.
Yeah,
that was fun. We played on the anniversary of the 60th anniversary of the Beatles' Shea Stadium concert in '65. So we had prepared I'm Down, which was the coolest song they did. And we've been playing it ever since in a lot of our live shows. But,
yeah. I will say it suffers without someone to take a elbow to the
keyboard. We have a keyboard that we can bring Ella, so you can do that. Bring somebody out of the crowd to play bass or something.
Yeah. Hell no.
Yeah, but anyhow, that's been it. There've been a lot of sadness since our last podcast. We lost our good friend Lynn Blakey back in February. Parthenon Huxley just a month earlier. Parthenon was a guest on our show twice. If you count the pandemic year half-hour show. Kevin Walton, an old childhood friend who was a big supporter of the band. Gosh, they're just, it's sad to see these people go, especially when none of them were old.
Yeah.
And anyway, I'm sad for their families, and we're still, embracing them with hugs virtually and sending them our good thoughts. And then a lot of people have been sick, so it's just a fact of life. But it's been a little bit of a sad time, I'd say, since the year started. Maybe we'd, turn things around and have some really nice things to talk about soon.
Yeah.
But we do have a show May 1st, which is tomorrow, which I suppose I'll have to...
No, it's the day after tomorrow.
Day after tomorrow to get the podcast up quickly. But Bynum Store, which played about 5 years ago. I played for the first time 25 years ago there. It's just below Chapel Hill. Basically, it was an old general store and post office right at an old bridge on the Haw River. And then we're, taking a bit of a break and then getting back into things in August. And we have some things already booked in October, South Carolina and New Jersey.
Yeah.
So we'll be on the road. If you ever want to sign up for our mailing list, just go to secretmonkeyweekend.com and you can, be notified. You can also go to Bands in Town, which is really good about keeping people in touch with shows in the area, whether they're national, local, whatever. Songkick. And as always, even though we just are not wild about how little Spotify pays, if you would like to click follow, that would always help our case with the, gaining fans, with the algorithm, whatever, Apple Music, Amazon, whatever you listen to.
Just following is a whole lot for us. It shows venues that people like us and like listening to us. So, if you can, please give us a follow on Spotify.
Yeah. And as always, I think a lot of you find out about us on social media like Facebook, Instagram, and we've been more involved with TikTok in the last year too. So, just trying to check all those boxes. But we're just having a good time, and we still have some of our vinyl left of our last two albums and CDs. I did release one of my albums from late 1995. It had never been available digitally, and it's the band I had called Jeff Hart and the Ruins, which is now called Jefferson Hart, the Ghost of the Old North State. But in late 95, we released an album called Glances from a Nervous Groom, and you can find it streaming everywhere. I think everything we put out is actually on YouTube as well, the files. But, one of the cool things about YouTube is that we do upload a lot of video, live video of our shows. So that's something we try to document. We're happy for you to see them and share, but, we really, most of all, we just love to see you in person. Come see us at the shows. Support local music, It's kind of like being a poet or something, It's kind of a lonely profession if people don't show up. So, we used to make poet jokes when I was a teenager about how lonely that must be as a way of life. But, creating art for art's sake and having fun. Poets may not have fun, but at least they're making art.
Yeah.
In fact, just last night, the family, we watched the 1997 movie Wild about Oscar Wilde.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about some of his plays and things. I was actually in one of his plays, not when it was originally.
Really? You weren't alive in the 1890s?
1890s, no. I played Algernon in The Importance of Being Earnest. And, of course, I had to memorize all those lines. And truth be told, I may not have even gotten the finer points of what he was saying in it, but it was fun to do. I just remember one funny scene where, and it was not on purpose, but I think people laughed. I was trying to remember my line, and it's not like there was an awkward pause or anything, but instead of reaching for a cup of coffee, I started drinking out of a sugar bowl that was about the size of a coffee cup, and I realized, oh my God, I put it away and kind of recovered. But it's just one of those things when your mind is on something else.
Yeah, they liked their white powder back then.
It's like, I'm holding a bottle of Coca-Cola, Coke in my hand. And it's like, where's my Coke? Where's my Coke? And you don't even realize what you're doing.
He does that all the time.
Every day.
Yeah. Does anybody say Coca-Cola anymore? You ever hear it?
No.
Only from you and Mom.
Yeah. Your mom has said that?
Yeah.
But as a joke.
Okay, like
Not,
in
I need a
New
Coca-Cola.
Orleans and Raleigh. Well, anyhow, that's about it. I don't think we're missing anything other than we've got some shows coming up. We'd love you to see it. Check out that Jeff Hart and the Ruins album, Glances from a Nervous Groom. I think you'll enjoy it. Oh, it actually was number one and in like the top 10 for much of the first 3 months of the year on Radio Free Americana, who have been one of our biggest supporters. Hello, Kat.
We love you.
Thank you. We met him in Charlottesville on our tour last year. And speaking of Radio Free Americana, which you should definitely tune in, you can stream it anywhere. Our album, Lemon Drop Hammer, was number one for the year there. So you can see a nice post about that on our Facebook page. I think it's pinned to the top. And it's also pinned to my personal Facebook page. But that was just a huge thrill because there were some major important, Americana and roots-based artists who were among that list, and we were the number one album. Who would have thought?
We beat Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah. It's not a competition, though, Ella.
We beat Bruce Springsteen.
Wow.
That's all I have to say about that.
Okay, no wagering, please. All right, so that's about it. Just a little wrap-up. I promised the family we would do a little wrap-up to get us back into the podcast world. And we'll see you out there in Monkey Land, and come dance, hang out, say hi. You know, we're just thrilled to see you, and it means so much when you're taking the time out of your busy day or night to come see us play. See you soon. Bye.